It's AJ with Dan Boyle.
And we are PG.
Fuck no.
No?
No,
Okay,
no.
okay, good. I needed to know that over there.
Yeah,
I do
no,
like
no,
to
no.
throw an F-bomb out once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I saw the Dangle podcast. It was great.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So, Olympic gold medalist, Stanley Cup champion, Faith No More roadie,
Yes.
Dan Boyle. I was told you have limited time. So, well, all right,
good.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm good.
As someone who's played in Florida, California, New York, what are your thoughts on how the state taxes have become a big talking point? Is it all just a bunch of shit?
I think it's bullshit. At the end of the day, now I'm not going to speak for 100% of the players, but you want to win. I was in a position as a free agent where I could choose where I wanted to go, and I came to California. One of the highest state tax. So at the end of the day, for me, it's about winning. I think most players will probably say the same. It doesn't hurt if the winning team is in a low tax state, but it should not be a top 1, 2, or 3 thing you're looking at. You're looking at winning. You're probably looking at place to stay with regards to your family and schools and all that, and then state tax might be like 4 or 5 down the list.
Happy coincidence.
I think you're going to a winner first and foremost, more than anything.
All right. With guys being on LTIR for a majority of the season and then that suddenly get healthy for game 1 of the playoffs, and we've had the new CBA announcements come out. Are you nice to see that loophole close?
I do. I don't know a ton about it. I quickly read about it, so I'm not overly informed. But yeah, I know like Vegas was, famous for finding a loophole and letting guys, be injured a little longer than needed to be. So I think as it's for everybody, that's what I want. I think some GMs were probably better than others at doing it, but ideally, if this lessens the gap or makes it a little closer, then so be it. So better off.
The Sharks don't have a single defensive player, of course, signed beyond the upcoming season.
Oh,
right. So it's a metaphorical ambition on the line from careers. So as a defenseman, how would you like to see the Sharks address what has largely been the Achilles heel of the franchise over the last few seasons?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty wild. Wow, that's a good question. I'm big on like pairings and, you can't have 5 guys or 6 guys that are 6'6" and can't move the puck. You want a couple of those guys.
I remember you with Murray, pretty big guy.
You're right. You want the yin and the yang.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think you identify your the guys that you want here. Mike's going to have to do that, and this year will be a year for a lot of the guys to step up and prove they want to stick around. And then from there, you identify maybe the 3 or 4 guys you want, and then you build around that. So interesting that no one's signed past this year. So we'll very important year for some guys. Henry Thrun, for one, who I really like, but you want to stick around. You got to take that next step, and being good at this point isn't enough. You got to be better than good.
Absolutely. Well, and kind of along that line, you've stated you're a big Luka fan, Cagnoni.
Yeah. I watched. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of any undersized defenseman. Obviously, having lived through it, so I liked what I saw. But with any smaller defenseman, you see the course of year, and then 2 years and 3 years and 5 years, because the thought is that he's going to break down. The smaller players are going to break down, but we see that the ones that are built to last will not. So with him, it's just seeing him play a full year, hopefully, and seeing him play a lot, and then you can determine whether he's somebody you want to keep moving forward and sign long term.
Well, and you were a guy who played with that chip on your shoulder.
You got to have
that.
You got to have you got to have that. I think smaller defensemen in this day and age there's like 2 on every team. When I broke in, there was 2 in the whole league. So I don't want those guys to take that position for granted, because it's a position that took many, many years of. There's guys before me, but myself and Brian Rafalski and some of us younger guys helped move it along to now where those guys are now being given that position, that opportunity, where 30 years ago, even before I played, they wouldn't even look at you for under 6 feet tall. So hopefully he's the real deal, but we're going to need to see a bigger sample this year.
Well, and I would even go so far to say, like, Marlowe and Thornton, bigger guys in comparison to Smith and Macklin. So maybe the hockey's getting a little smaller?
The size thing isn't as big. And like I said before, I just don't think you need as many. Before, we were very stuck on your reach and your size. And now we're seeing that the smaller guys, I mean, I played with one of the best, smallest players in the game, Marty St. Louis, who to this day is, the best player I've played with. And I played with Jumbo and Patty. And I just think that at the end of the day, it's about results, and size isn't as big of an issue today's game than it was certainly 20 years ago.
For me, I'm also a big Eric Polkamp fan. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I'm not. Oh, why do I? Yeah. But I don't. Yeah, if you're going to ask me a question about him, I would have to lie.
It was just that I thought he was another guy who smaller maybe in stature, but stood out during the prospects camp last year. So is there any other guy that you think besides Luka, or, obviously you're not familiar with Polkamp, but is there somebody else that you're kind of like in the Shark system, like this is a guy that if he can make it, come out with that chip?
Yeah, I this is maybe a weird answer, but Eklund, who I ended up playing with his dad, I thought he's a smaller player. And I actually was a little nervous that he wasn't going to last. But I think I'm looking for bigger and better things from him, even though he's had a great start. I think there's more there.
All right. So when it comes to Boyle memories for fans, right, many will mention the own goal, of course because Nabby's shitty.
Obviously,
your response in the following game.
Yeah,
right? The coast-to-coast power play goal against Minnie, ripping Larry Brooks a new asshole. The hit by LePerrier. Well, you might not remember that. The rest of us remember.
Saw the video.
Yeah. Your epic beating of Brassard. Can you tell me a great Sharks memory for you that maybe most fans don't think about?
It's an easy one for me because I've talked about this before, but my last year here, which was statistically my worst, not only statistically, probably product-wise, was the year I was hit by LTIR. I had a concussion. I was knocked out cold for 7 minutes. From what I'm told, Randy Hahn told me, they cut to commercial, came back, and I was still sleeping. So think about that. Out cold for 7 minutes. I missed 4 games. And I came back and I played the rest of that year. Although, if you look at what I was doing or my points, nothing was impressive. But for me, to go through what I went through and to feel how I felt and to play the rest of that season the way that I did, I am very proud of my effort and all the stuff that I had to deal with behind the scenes, which was like sleeping 2 hours a night, 4 hours over the course of a weekend, being dizzy, but overcoming, I guess. In hindsight, I probably should have taken more time off, but I'm very proud of my last year as a Shark, even though it was kind of a disaster on the ice. But I'm very proud of what people don't know. My ex-wife and my kids and my friends and family know what I went through, but it was a really, really difficult year for me. But I'm very proud of it at the same time.
Excellent. You're familiar with the Remenda Quick Quiz? Did you ever have to go through that?
I don't like to look at Drew, but yeah, I am familiar with it. Drew should be on the radio. Drew should be on the radio. Ruzanowski TV. It should be flipped. Drew's got a face for radio.
Is Nabby still a shitty goalie?
Horrible.
All right.
Huge
if Mike
five-hole.
Keenan is the worst coach, who's the best?
Head coach?
Your dealer's choice.
Head coach, Todd McClellan. Assistant coach, I loved Craig Ramsey in Tampa.
All right. Most impressive beard, Jumbo, Burnsy, Dimebag.
Dimebag.
All right.
And I just saw Pantera, by the way. First concert.
Metallica?
Yeah, I was there on Sunday, and my first concert when I was 16, was a Skid Row concert, but
Yeah.
Pantera was the opening band.
Fuck outta
I
here.
never listened to Skid Row again. I went.
Is that Slave to
I
the
made a
Grind,
hard.
or-
It was it was a Slave to the Grind, but Pantera I think was the opening band, and I was like,
Who's this
Skid
skinny
Row?
blonde fucker who won't
I
shut
was
up?
like, I was done. I went Pantera, so I saw him on Sunday. I'm 48 now, so 32 years ago. So so Pantera was a huge part of my musical
Upbringing?
upbringing. Yeah. Otherwise, I would end up in some hair metal stuff, which would have been bad.
What do you think about Zach Wilde?
I mean, I didn't do a ton of Ozzy and stuff, so I know a little bit about him. But I just
Reasonable facsimile? I mean, it's hard
that's more
for
my
Dimebag.
brother. Zach Wells, more my brother type of thing. I went Pantera, and then I made a weird turn to Faith No More and Mr. Bungle and all the weird shit I listened to. But anyways, so we'll go with Dimebag.
All right, that'll lead me to band you were listening on the way here. Who's in the car on the way down?
What did I have on? Oh, I had Tool radio. So
All right, serious?
Perfect Circle. I drive a Tesla. Yeah, I drive a Tesla. Whatever the Tesla people listen to. Pandora, I think.
Name something worse than the beach traffic through Los Gatos.
Oh, shoot. I hate two things. Well, I hate a lot of things, but slow drivers in the left lane. Can I say fuck?
Fuck yeah.
Get the fuck out of the left lane. It's a passing lane. Right? In the left lane. You got to get the fuck over. Okay? It's a passing lane. That's one. Two, shark fans. When you guys want a signature from the players and you throw your Sharpie out, don't come Sharpie at them first. Put the cap on, flip it around, cap first. I can't tell you how many times people are like, boom, Sharpie, 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 Sharpie. Don't go Sharpie end first. Flip it over, cap on the back, cap first. Those are the two things that bother me more than beach traffic.
All right. Can we expect to see you on the broadcast a little more this season? Because everybody, from what I've seen, you look at the social media response.
I don't do any social media.
Oh, no, and
Zero.
You know what? That's what you have in common with Remenda. He's the same way.
I have nothing.
But the response is every time you're on, it's like, why aren't we seeing more
Oh,
of Dan?
I didn't know that. I'm glad it's a positive response.
Yeah.
Two things. I kind of just said, let me know if you guys need me. I can do a handful of games. That's what I did. This year, as the team gets better, that's the other thing, because I don't like to be dishonest, so I don't want to come in negative all the time, come across that way. But as the team gets better, I said I'd do more games. So ideally, but the one thing is I don't want to go to that studio in San Francisco. So I told them I would only do games here. And so hopefully, maybe we bump me up from 5 to 10-ish games or so.
Sharks, you got to have more intermission pre-post here.
And I need the fans to let NBC know that I'm amazing.
Absolutely. But know how to hand over the damn Sharpie is the problem.
And gimme cap first.
Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it so much.
That was great.
All right, we got to throw it to the other guys there. Oh, well, hold on. One more thing here. What did you how have you liked the picks so far? Anybody stand out for you? Anybody?
I would be lying if I said I knew. I'm only believing what I'm told and what I'm reading. So Misa seemed like the second overall pick was going to be it. So
obvious choice.
I'm just going to be going on what the scouts and what the pros or the professionals are telling me. Two or whatever. I think now we got to get the defensive part of the game. We got the goalie. We got the forwards. We got to get the defense straightened out.
All right.